Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King 3, and today I'm going to be giving you part 15 of What If Naruto Awakened the Rinne-Tenseigan. Remember to get this one to 100 likes as usual, share this to all of your friends in social media platform, and also guys, stay in tune for What If Naruto became the God of Lightning over an Anime King, which I do hope that you guys enjoy, and a new episode over an Anime King 2. Remember, if you're new and this is the first time you hear my voice and you enjoy the videos on both Anime King 2, Anime King 3, go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all of your help and your support. Remember to comment down below and tell me if you're new. I'll be replying talking back to all of you. So yeah, without further ado, what do you say we begin this new episode? Start the intro. So the last time we left off, it was a peaceful night within Konoha. As Naruto had told Sasuke he wanted to talk about something. Sasuke wasn't sure what it was about. He invited Naruto over, only for Naruto to knock him out. The Sound 4 was sent to Konoha by Orochimaru. But at Orochimaru's lab, Orochimaru was furious as he didn't know where the Sound 4 was, as most of the equipment that he had here had already been packed up, as he knew that Void was coming after him. Seeing that Void had showed time and time again that he could enter his lab without even, being detected, Orochimaru was going to go into the depths, far deep within the land. Void would never find him until he find a way to counter that ability that Void possessed. But he was quite furious as Kabuto had no idea where the Sound 4 was. Yet the Sound 4 were told by Orochimaru that they need to go and retrieve Sasuke. The Sound 4 got in rather easily. It was like someone was making it easy for them, but they did not notice that. As they found Sasuke as he was knocked out, peaceful on his bed, they quickly took him. Sakura saw Sasuke as she went after him, but he was then gone. She then saw the real Sasuke. He was being carried away as she was shocked. She called out to him, but Tiwaya placed her under a genjutsu. The genjutsu was to last for a long time, but Sakura woke up rather quickly as she informed the Hokage about that. A team was quickly selected, with Naruto on the team as well, with Shikamaru guiding them. Sakura begged Naruto to bring Sasuke back, which he promised he will do. So with that, they head out there. The groups quickly switch places with the members of the retrieval team as they stay behind to face off against the Sound 4 members, till Tiwaya was the last one left, as Naruto told Shikamaru and Kiba to handle the two-headed guy while he went after her. Tiwaya stopped near the Valley of the End as she looked at him, but she then smiled as she hands Sasuke over to him. Void then appeared, as the both of them knew her quite well. She was actually working for them. As Naruto told her to go toward the spot she would be hearing from them shortly, she nodded as she headed off, as Naruto hands Sasuke over to Void, as the both of them start a battle. That was a scene that Gaara came upon, as Navi had sent for the Sand team to help them. But Naruto quickly turned towards Gaara. With a single glance, Gaara's eyes shift into the Rinne-Tenseigan, as he was still under Naruto control, as he passed out, as he wouldn't remember anything of this. Back at the village, as Navi had a worried feeling in her gut as she didn't know why. She was at the gate, hoping to help if anyone was, in critical injury, so she was there waiting, along with Sakura and Shizune. The rest of the retrieval team came in. As they were badly injured, she quickly rushed them to the hospital. But then she saw Gaara as he was being carried. As he was unconscious, also a bloody beaten Naruto. Sakura's eyes went wide, but she didn't see Sasuke anywhere. Void then arrived as he knocked away all of them. He purposely held up Naruto and stabbed him right through the heart to that sight. Jiraiya couldn't believe what he was seeing. He went in to attack Void only for him to jump away, as Navi tried her best to do something, but he was already gone. He was dead. Void then blew all of them away. With an unseen force, they picked up Naruto's body saying that he will be taking this with him. As they couldn't believe it. Some time passed after that as Tsunade was in the office, alone, drinking, as she couldn't believe what happened. His death has taken a lot of effects on everyone. She had to send Shizune to make sure Sakura didn't, well, kill herself. She saw the look in the girl's eyes, and she saw that look a lot of time before in the war. But Sakura's been locked up in a room, as her parents were trying their best to console her, but losing one teammate and seeing another die, it can really take a toll on you. Kakashi was by himself, thinking of himself as a failure. Jiraiya. The man felt more broken than before. The only thing he can do now is try to shut off his emotions, and try not to let Tsunade quit the position of Hokage. After all, Naruto was one of the main reasons why she came back. He still had to make sure that Konoha went on despite his heart feeling dead. Sasuke woke up as he saw Void. He was about to attack when Naruto walked inside, completely fine. As Sasuke was confused, Naruto told Void to take off his mask because he trusts Sasuke. Sasuke was confused at first. Void had white hair. Sasuke didn't know who, but it then clicked into focus. But this shouldn't be possible. How was this person standing here right now? Sasuke was shocked. At Orochimaru base, Gurren was making her way with Kabuto. Orochimaru was considering taking her body. Kabuto was smashed into the wall by Gurren. After all, the real Gurren died a long time ago, as he was knocked out instantly. She smiled to herself, as she knew they were coming. So yeah guys, so basically as we left off, you guys can switch across to the playlist and check it out for yourself. So just to begin this new episode. Red Flush's hair rushed past as fast as her legs could take her. She was only 9 years old. Having her mother and father be killed at her early age didn't work out so good for her, as she had no one. She had to live on the streets and fend for herself, steal, rob. She had to get herself out of a lot of skirmish, where she always get hurt because of her small size. But her small size had an advantage. She could actually dive under a fence, the small hole making her way. But she did not escape yet, as she was cut off as she paused. At the end of the valley, 2 men stood there. Behind her, 2 other men stood there. This girl was rather abrasive as she looked at them. "What do you want, asshole?" she said as she looked at all of them. "Huh. Quite a moat on this one, huh?" one of the bandits said. "She will go for a hefty price." The girl shivered a bit as she knew what they wanted. They wanted to kidnap her and sell her on the sex slave market. Something that she would never let happen, but there was no way out. One of the men stepped forward. "Take it easy, girlie. There is no way out of here, unless you want to get hurt," he said, as he pulled out a pocket knife. She didn't have training in the ninja arts. She could barely even use her chakra. And these men, all of them, were above 6 foot, looking down at her, as they belonged to the crime boss in the town that she was currently living at the moment. A sleazy, short, fat man who loved nothing more than money, as he ran one of the top sex trading rig in the continent. Well, not that she knew that. She knew that these men were working for him though. She never wanted to get on his radar. But now here she was. She was about to get caught, and there was nothing she could do about it. As the man stepped forward, licking his lips. "Maybe I'll have a little fun with you before I take you to the boss." She stepped back with disgust. These men had no moral about them. They do what they want, whenever they want, and she was stuck. She reached into her pocket as she pulled out a small knife. The man laughed. "And what exactly are you going to do with that?" She placed it to her throat as she laughed back at him. She'd rather kill herself than being used as a sex slave. "Hey, don't do anything stupid," the man said. "Don't come any closer," then she said, as she started to back away. Before she paused, as she remembered she couldn't get to finish her thought as she was grabbed roughly. The knife thrown out of her hand as she was lifted up in the air by the back of her neck. "Let go of me, shithead," she said, as she tried to kick him but she could not. "Come on, girlie, stop your fussing. You're coming with us." As he started to pull her, something fell down behind them as all of them turned to see a young boy standing there. He looked to be probably 9 or 10 years old. Blonde hair going down to his shoulders. He was wearing something over his eyes that you couldn't see them. "Scram, brat, before you get hurt," one of the men said. The boy looked at him up and down. Despite that thing over his eyes, the man didn't even know if he can see. "Hey, kid, you deaf or what?" the man asked as he stepped forward, only for him to stop mid-walk. The man looked confused as his body was picked off the ground before he was smashed into the wall, his skull cracking on impact. The boy simply stepped forward. "What the hell's going on?" one of the bandits said. The girl was now confused. The one that was holding on to her placed her down towards the ground roughly. "I don't know what the hell you just did, but you're gonna pay, brat." The man moved forward as he pulled back his fist, only to have it stop as a wall of invisible force to stop his blow. The boy reached forward and lowered his hand. The man dropped to his knees as he cried out in pain, his kneecaps shattering at the blow. The boy grabbed his head and pulled. The girl watched as she saw him pulling something blue out of the man's skull. He ripped it out as she saw him release it. The man then dropped. The two other men saw what was going on, decided to get the hell out of here. Two black rods dropped in the boy's arm. As he tossed them, they ripped through their back. Both men dropped down dead. She stepped back in fear, as she's never seen someone do something like this before, and he was now coming after her. She stepped back, but her back hit the wall. She couldn't go any further, as she felt true fear. She was gonna die here, right now. She closed her eyes, waiting for the final blow. "Are you okay?" She blinked in confusion and opened her eyes, as he was giving her a small smile. "Are you?" he asked her. She blinked in confusion. "You can see me?" It was a rather dumb question to ask, given what he just did, but that thing over his eyes, it didn't look like he can see through it, as she waved her hand in front of his face. He reached as he lifted up. "Of course I can see you." She was shocked by his eyes. A beautiful, deep shade of blue, with ripple pattern in them. "Who are you?" "The name is Naruto, and what's yours?" "My name is Tiwaya," she said. Tiwaya was snapped out of her thoughts as she stood at the hideout, remembering when she and Naruto first met, as back then he had saved her. If he hadn't showed up, she didn't know where she would be right now. As that brought a smile to her face, he was the one that saved her. That is why, when it came to infiltrating Orochimaru ranks and pretending to be, well, his servant for a couple of years, she didn't question whether she would do it or not, despite knowing that it was a dangerous job. Orochimaru thought that he was all powerful and he was gonna do this and that. Most people in this world doesn't even know what Naruto Uzumaki has in store for them, and the thing that he has going at the moment. None of them know. But soon enough they will find out. Soon enough the entire world will know his name, and they will tremble at it. Not to mention Void. When she first found out who Void was, she was shocked. Yes, beyond shock. She knew that Naruto was powerful, but what he did, and who Void actually was, that was quite a shock to anyone that would find out his identity. But after everything, well, there's a reason why things has to be this way. Well, at least everything was going according to plan. And Gurren. Tiwaya laughed to herself. Orochimaru never suspected a thing, and he will never know a single thing until time come when he was to die. She just wished that she could be there, but she had other things to do right now. She turned her head as she saw a hologram appear in the hideout that she was in. "You finally showed," she said. "Yes." The voice was monotone. You couldn't even tell if it was a female or a male. "Is everything going towards a plan?" the voice asked. At this very moment, they should be getting there. So by the end of the day, everyone will know that Orochimaru is dead, and Void will be the one to kill him. "What about Konoha?" the voice from hologram said. "Have you heard anything about that so far?" Well, given that the news is fresh, no. But they should be sending a rather large fine in the bingo book for Void. Well, not that there are missing names, or any other missing names will be able to do anything against him. "You're telling me," the hologram voice said. "How is he doing?" "At the moment I don't know. I'll have to find out when he returns. He will want to talk to you. I know. But I can't just keep making these calls. Remember what I'm doing. Yeah, I know. I'll inform you once he returns. The hologram nodded. See you then. And with that it was gone. Tiwaya smiled, yes. Everything was going according to plan. Meanwhile, Orochimaru was currently in his lab. As everything was packed and ready, as they were being shipped out to his new destination, somewhere deep in the hidden stone, deep in the large valleys, near to the mountainside, somewhere where a void never will find him. He couldn't be picky about the body that he will be choosing right now, as he would have to take Goren's body. For the longest time she wanted to take her body, so he was gonna do her a favor and take her body. As he needed, for his continuous experiments, he needed to find a way to make sure he was able to get past this ability of void, to make sure that void doesn't want up him again. He heard a knock. Kabuto, what took you so long? But Kabuto was the one that walked in. It was Goren. Goren, where is Kabuto? I thought I told him to come right back. My lord, he told me to come here. He went off down the hall. To do what? Orochimaru said. I'm sorry, but I don't know, said Goren. Orochimaru hissed. What the hell was Kabuto doing? He was wasting time, as he had no idea when Void will be showing up, and he needs to get the hell out of here, as it pained Orochimaru to know that him, as Sanin, has to be running from a pathetic mass ninja who didn't even have the balls to show his face. It pained him to his heart. But he will get strong enough soon enough to make sure that Void doesn't stand a chance against him at all. We'll be leaving shortly. I trust Kabuto told you to get your things back, said Orochimaru. Yes, my lord. They're all ready and packed and go. Now, Goren, you know that I've chose you as my next host. Goren nodded with a smile. That is what I've been waiting for the longest time, my lord, she said. Orochimaru smiled at that. Yes, you should be quite honored. This is not a privilege I give to everyone. Not even Kimimaru is worthy enough to be my host. But you are. Goren smiled at that, as she bowed her head. You can take that privilege, my lord, and shove it up your old, snake, wrinkly ass, she said. Orochimaru stepped back by the comment. What did you just say to me? Goren smashed, he threw a kunai to the ceiling with an explosive tag. Orochimaru's eyes went wide as he backpedaled. Boom! The entire ceiling exploded, raining debris down the room. The room was quite large, as the tables were crushed on the stone that was inside. Orochimaru was furious and at the same time confused as hell. Goren then made her way through the door. She went through strange hand signs in mid-air, but these weren't normal hand signs. She was creating something out of thin air. It was like she was writing. Strange kanjis appeared in mid-air before she slammed her hand forward. A green barrier erected right at the hall, stopping all of the sound ninjas from getting through. Goren, Orochimaru said, a sinister chakra polluting the air that came from the man. What have you done? Laughter could be heard as Goren stood right at the door. What have I done? What have you done? She said. You know, she's right, Orochimaru. What have you done? Orochimaru looked up with shock. You, he said, as Void was standing right there, looking down on him from the hole that Goren created. Thank you, my dear, said Void. Orochimaru snapped his eyes towards Goren, as his eyes scanned over her body, trying to find some sort of illusion. You are Goren, he said. Oh, that's where you're wrong. I'm not exactly Goren. No cheap illusion can trick my eyes, said Orochimaru. Well, the illusion is not cheap, said Goren. You have this, right? Said Goren as she looked up. Of course, said Void. You go ahead and handle the next part of the plan. She nodded as she walked out. Orochimaru moved towards her in a second, as his fangs were bare, ready to bit down her neck, but something smashed against his face. Orochimaru's eyes literally bulged out of his socket. His body was thrown. He broke through several walls, crashing in the other part of his lab. Guren turned as she looked towards Void. She gave him a smile, as he smiled back under his mask. With that, she quickly made her way out. She took the other door, as she quickly made her way down a secret passageway. As she walked forward before coming back. As she arrived around all the sound ninjas, she whistled. "Hey boys," she said. They all turned towards her. "Guren-san, what is going on?" "Oh, Void is currently in the process of killing Orochimaru. And you guys can't get in," she said. "What?" "Oh, I'm helping him, if you didn't get that." All of them looked towards her. "You're what?" "Tell us this is a joke," one of them said. "I'm afraid it's not. Were you the one that placed up this barrier?" "Yeah, sorry about that." One of them pulled their blades. "Well then, as long as we kill you, it should fall." Such a small mind of thinking. Well, I guess you couldn't do any better. You are stupid after all. All of them moved forward to kill her right there and then, only to have the left wall exploded. Debris sent flying everywhere, stopping them in their tracks. All they saw was a pair of blue eyes, glowing in the dark. He was no longer wearing the patch over his eyes. His Rinne-Tenseigan on full display. As Naruto stepped out of the hole in the wall, Guren saw him as a big smile came on her face. She wasted no time as she rushed over and hugged him with all her might, before she stooped down, given that she was taller than him. As she checked him over, "You know I'm fine, right? I have to check for myself. I've not yet finished with the school, but I'm almost done. I won't let anything happen to you," she said. "I'm fine. I've already discussed this with Void. Didn't he tell you?" "Yes, but I had to see for myself." As Naruto simply sighed. "Don't worry." She smiled at that. "I'm not. If anything, you have the strongest will and determination. And something like that will not hold you down." "Jeez, at least you get it. Void is all concerned that I'm gonna die from this sickness." She smiled. "Just don't push yourself so hard." "Don't worry, I won't," he said. "So, which one of these guys are trying to hurt you?" he said. "All of them." "Get them," she said. All of the men took a back step when they saw Naruto's eyes looking towards them, as they could already feel the fear of coming washing over them. Meanwhile, back inside the closed-off room, explosions could be heard, shaking the entire base. "Oh, it seems he's here," said Void. "Who is?" Orochimaru said. "My accomplice," Void said. "And who the hell is that?" Orochimaru asked. "You just want to know everything, don't you?" Void twisted his wrists as he was a poof, as he grabbed onto the sight. He twirled it in the air, as he cracked his neck. "Alright, Orochi-chan, let's have some fun, shall we?" Orochimaru sneered as he lunged forward. Meanwhile, Sasuke was currently sitting down, in God knows where. He was just taking care. There was 2 bottles of water and an empty container, as food was inside but he already ate it. He didn't know what the hell Naruto was planning, but all he knew is it wasn't good. He always knew that Naruto was powerful, but what he felt when Naruto released his power, it was beyond anything. It felt like the depths of his soul was screaming. And not to mention Void. How was that even possible? That man should be long. He was interrupted in his thoughts, as someone opened the door without even knocking. Sasuke blinked as he looked at the girl that was standing there. "And who are you?" he asked. "I am your babysitter," she said, as she looked him over. Tiwaya glanced towards Sasuke. "So you're the Uchiha, right? You don't look that special." Sasuke's eyebrow twitched as he got off the bed. "And who the hell are you and why should I care?" he said. "I told you, I'm your babysitter. Now shut up and sit down. I'll get you a bottle soon enough." Sasuke's eye twitched again. "Really? I don't see what is so special about you, for him to waste his time at Konoha. What the hell are you talking about?" "Oh, you don't know? He went back to Konoha for you, to get you on his side. And some other things, but you were one of the main goals." "Well, yeah," she said. "Wait, you're talking about Naruto?" "No, Santa Claus." "What?" "God, you're dumb," said Tiwaya. "Of course I'm talking about Naruto." Don't he tell you anything? Sasuke looked away at that. Don't tell me he kept you out of the loop. Because he only does that to a person he doesn't fully trust. Sasuke narrowed his eyes. Or a person you think that is not ready for the truth. What the hell are you trying to say? He probably still think that you're naive. Are you trying to piss me off, Sasuke asks. She smiled. Yes. I want to see how well you can hold your cool. And I guess you can a bit, but you're still a bit too arrogant. You should know. In this new world that you're going to embark in, you should really be humble. Because at the level you're at right now, you're literally nothing. And I mean nothing. He could kill you with a single look. You know that, right? Sasuke looked at her. What? Don't believe me? Do something to piss him off. Or do something out of the way that you're not supposed to do. And you will be dead. If I come to know one thing about him, Naruto Uzumaki, your friend that you seem to call him, he's different. He can be your friend. And he also can be your enemy. But when he's your enemy, just pray to Kami that you're somewhere where he can't find you. And that his heart is somewhere where he can't go. Because if he's not looking for you, Void is. And when the two of them work together, oh trust me, you will be dead. Sasuke looked at her, still having no idea what the hell is going on. What exactly is he trying to do? Tiwaya smirked at that. Oh, wouldn't you like to know, she said. Just shut up and be quiet. I was told to give you food, so you won't starve to death. As she walked back in the hall and came back in with some food. Eat up. And drink plenty of water. You're gonna need it, she said. As she just walked out of the room. Hey wait, Sasuke said. Shut up, I'll get your bottle soon, she said. Sasuke grumbled. Just what in the hell had he got himself into? What in the hell was going on? Meanwhile, back at the base, as Naruto was left standing there, Kimimaru quickly made his way down the hall as he heard the explosions and he was rushing to save his master as he wondered where the hell the sound for was and where was He paused when he noticed someone leaning into the wall. It was Kabuto. He was out cold. He grumbled as he felt the base shook again. He had to go help Orochimaru-sama. He had to go use his own life to make sure his master lived. As he rushed past Kabuto's unconscious body, not paying any mind at the moment, as he reached on the end of the hall to see someone standing there. A mere boy. Blonde hair. His back was turned. Who are you? Said Kimimaru. But the boy did not answer. I would kindly suggest you get out of my way. I have a job to do. As two bone swords slipped out of his hand, right into his palm. Kimimaru noticed a room, but he wasn't commenting on that. Bodies were everywhere, splashed up against the wall that he had been crushed, like a boot to a cockroach. The boy slowly turned. Kimimaru saw his eyes, a deep shade of blue, with a bright shade of blue at the corner. He didn't know what it was, with a strange ripple pattern inside. As Naruto turned towards him, it was a shame. I couldn't use you. You were so loyal. You would have been useful in the end, but it's a shame that you're not on my side. You know what's going on behind me, right? Your master Orochimaru is being killed, and the only way for you to get in there is by killing me and get through. Kimimaru wastes no time as he threw both of the bones, only to have them stop mid-air in front of Naruto. As Naruto reached out and grabbed them, as he touched one of them with the tip of his finger. Sharp as well, he said. He then tossed them back to Kimimaru. Kimimaru tried to catch them, but suddenly, out of nowhere, the speeds of the bone intensified and ripped through his palm. Kimimaru winced in pain as he stepped back. Tell me, Kaguya, would you give up your servitude to Orochimaru if I could heal you? Would you join my side and be loyal to me, like how you were to him? Never, said Kimimaru, as bones sprouted from all over his body. This boy doesn't know what he has done. In this tight, close space, there is no way he can dodge. Kimimaru fired all of them as they burst from his body like a porcupine. At least 15 bones heading towards Naruto, ready to impale him. A smirk came on Naruto's face as he twisted his body in mid-air at the last moment. He turned as he grabbed two of them and he stand on two of them in mid-air, pushing them down. Kimimaru watched as the bones froze in mid-air as the others fly past him. The bones that he touched just froze, unable to move. As Naruto twisted his body over before he landed back on the ground, the two bones still on his feet. As he launched them towards Kimimaru, Kimimaru had to jump out of the way of his own bones as they ripped through the walls behind him. How are you doing this? I will suggest you tap into that curse mark of yours, or this fight will be boring. Kimimaru wasted no time as he heard another explosion as he quickly entered into his curse mark, flame-like pattern entering all over his body. As he rushed forward, he pulled out one of his bone sword out of his shoulder as he brought it down towards Naruto to cleave him in half, only for Naruto to grab the bone in his palm. A sound like two irons were clashing against each other could be heard. Kimimaru was confused as Naruto tightened his hold on the bone before snapping it. Kimimaru's eyes widened. He could make his bone densely stronger than steel, and this boy was able to snap his bone in his bare hand. How was that even? He couldn't get a ponder on that before he felt something slam into his stomach. The boy, third arm? Kimimaru was sent sailing down the hallway as he smashed into the wall. He dropped to his hands and knees, coughing up blood. The third arm returned back near the stomach as Kimimaru got back up. Wasting no more time, he entered the second stage of this curse mark, knowing that this would speed up his life force. But he still had to do to save his lord. He slammed his hand on the ground as bones erupted everywhere. As Naruto walked, the bones twisted and writhed and broke as they were blown away. As Naruto walked, Kimimaru was beyond shock as he couldn't understand what the hell was going on, as Naruto was simply walking and the bones were snapping and thrown all over the room. Kimimaru rushed forward to intercept him with taijutsu, only for Naruto to bend his body back at a strange angle as the bones passed over his head. He then brought one of his foot up and kicked Kimimaru right under the chin. His head snapped through the ceiling, breaking through it, as Naruto grabbed his feet and slammed his skull into the ground. His entire head trembled from the crack as blood started to leak from the back of his head. But he was still not done yet. A bone came out of his feet as he drove it towards Naruto's shoulder. Once again, his bone broke. It was like Naruto's skin was made out of metal. Both of his arms and legs were grabbed by arms that emerged from Naruto's body. Robot arms, it seems, as they dig into his flesh. He cried out in pain. He was smashed into the ground. As I said, Kaguya, it was a shame. As Naruto's hand shifted at the front to turn into a cannon, he pointed towards Kimimaru's face as a beam started to gather. Kimimaru tried to get free as he tried to use the ability, but he couldn't feel his chakra. Boom! His head was blown clean off, tearing through the base once again, leaving his headless body lying there. He was dead. Meanwhile, Orochimaru ripped his head out of his own body as he had to shed his skin for the second time now as he slid her over to the side. Orochimaru was panting heavily. His due date was soon to switch body, so doing this was taxing a lot of his chakra as he could feel his life force and energy slipping away from him. He only had one more time of doing this before he couldn't do it anymore. As he glanced towards Void, he didn't know if this man was real or his mind was losing it or what. But no matter what he did, he just kept on moving. But Orochimaru saw something strange. Whenever he attacked him, he couldn't do that trick of his like disappearing all over the room. Could he only focus on one trick at a time? Orochimaru wondered. As Void stood there looking at him. Come on, it hasn't been a challenge. I wonder, should I wait until you get strong enough so we can fight? I mean, you're clearly sick, and from what the third Hokage did to your arms, you're gonna be dead soon enough. So what do you say? You want a chance to get stronger? Orochimaru looked at him, not saying anything as he wondered Void would truly give him this chance. If he had that chance, he would use it to test and find out how his abilities work. And then he would come back and kill him. But Void couldn't be that stupid, right? You know what? Go. I'll fight you in a couple of years, Orochimaru. Run for your life. Orochimaru started to back away as he saw Void turn his back. He could quickly slither up towards him and try to kill him. But what if he failed? Then Void would attack him once again. So he decided to take the better way out by just slipping away, ready to get the hell out of here. You know, you're quite wicked, said the voice. Orochimaru paused, letting him think that he can actually escape. As Orochimaru turned to see Naruto-kun, he said, "Oh, hi there. You remember when you stabbed me in the chest?" Orochimaru blinked as he looked down to see a sword in his chest. Payback. Slam! His head was rattled by a blow. Orochimaru was thrown back before something slammed into his back as he crashed down into the earth. As Void stood there with a smile on his face. You know, I was gonna let him get away to see how far you could run before I catch him. After all, hunting your prey is the best part of the job. Yeah, and what if he had actually got away? What would you have done then? He wouldn't actually get away, said Void. This snake bastard is really slippery. We have already dealt with the precaution, so he wouldn't be able to come back. Orochimaru narrowed his eyes at that and wondered what the hell was going on and what was Naruto doing here. And his eyes. What were those eyes? I bet you're really confused now, are you? Oh, you should know me and Void are actually good friends. Orochimaru narrowed his eyes at that. So all this time, you have been playing the hidden leaf, said Orochimaru. Well, you can say that. And we don't mind telling you, said Void, seeing that you're not going to come back after we kill you. Your curse marks have been dealt with, so there is no way for you to be reborn. What? Orochimaru said. Yes, the one on Uncle. Your precious Sound 4. So you were the one that did something to them. Well, they thought they were going on a mission to serve you by rescuing the Uchiha from Konoha to bring him to you. But I guess I was the one that gave them that fake mission, with a bit of help from Gurren, Orochimaru said. Nah, said Void. But wouldn't you like to know? You know, the best way to kill you is to let you not know anything. What? After all, you want to know who I am, right? You want to know what's our plan. You want to know what the hell is going on. But the best way to take you out right here and now is to kill you. And you wouldn't know anything. Just go into the afterlife with so many unanswered questions. And trust me, with your mind so rattled with questions, you will never find peace. Well, we both know he's going to hell, said Naruto. Is hell even real, said Void. Naruto simply shrugged as he looked down. So, Orochimaru, how would you like to die? Orochimaru started to backpedal a bit before snakes erupted from the ground as the swarm of snakes came down on Void and Naruto. But they were stopped. A force pushed two packs of snakes together, squashing them like they were ants as blood poured down. Orochimaru used an opportunity to slither away, only for him to get kicked in the back of the head once again as he was smashed into the wall. His face was pulled out of the wall by Naruto and tossed. Void came and sliced his arm off as Naruto appeared above him and crashed a heel into his skull. His head bounced off the ground as Void kicked him in the side of the face. He smashed through several weak walls before crashing into the side of a bed. Naruto picked him up by his throat and slammed him down in the bed as black chains emerged from Naruto's body and wrapped around Orochimaru tight, strapping him down. Orochimaru realized he couldn't move as he opened his mouth. Something flew out of it and landed across the room as a hissing sound could be heard. My God. Look what you've turned yourself into, said Void as he looked over at Orochimaru. You know, You really disappoint me. But I guess you were always a sick, twisted individual. Back then, I could have killed you and in all of your stupid experiments before you started. But I never thought you would turn out so twisted. Orochimaru hissed at the both of them. Those eyes of yours, he says. He turned towards Naruto. I'll take your body and use it to kill your friend here. Oh, you want my body, huh? I bet that is what you tell all the guys. Orochimaru shot forward, only to be stopped by a hand that clutched around his entire snake form. Orochimaru was confused. Just what the hell was holding on to him? As he saw a strange haze around Naruto's body. With a white hand. A giant white skeleton hand gripping onto him. You really think that just because you're a Sannin, the snake's son and all that, you're unstoppable, you're unbeatable. But you should know something, you're nothing but a pathetic piece of experiment that need to be extinguished from this world. And you existing is messing with our plans. I hope you have a better life in the next life you live, Orochimaru. Because this surely won't be easy. Just kill him and get it over with, said Void. I'm getting to it, said Naruto. Purgatory. Heavenly flames, said Naruto. Orochimaru screeched and cried as white hot flames. White flames like this he's never seen before latched onto his skin as he started to burn. The arm threw him into the wall. He twisted and turned as he tried to get the flames off, but nothing he did was working. As the flames started to burn even hotter, he slipped into the next room, running for his life while screaming in pain and agony. His body was being burned and burned and burned, and there was nothing he could do about it. Suddenly, he was trapped. Orochimaru looked around as a green barrier from all sides trapped him inside. Gorin was at the head of the barrier. I hope you suffer, you sick bastard, she said. Orochimaru cried as he could not get out, as his body was being burned. It didn't take too long, as he saw Void and Naruto standing there, Naruto smirking as his body was burned, until his head remained. The last sight Orochimaru saw out of his eyes was Void, lifting up his mask slightly, and smirking. Orochimaru saw his lips, and his face, just to draw a line. Orochimaru didn't know why, but it looked so familiar. But perhaps he will never know who it is. Perhaps he will never know how they were able to turn Gorin against him because he did not see any illusion. Perhaps he will never know how, or who helped him with the Sound 4, or what was Naruto's goal gonna be. Perhaps he will never know anything. But this was surely a waste of existence, as he had worked so hard and come so far, only to die like a pitiful worm. And there was nothing he could do about it. Void was right. All of this unanswered question would haunt him for the rest of his existence. And in the afterlife, he will never be able to find true peace, as he was burned into nothingness. Void lowered back his mask as Naruto dropped down to the ground. He started to cough up blood. Gorin rushed over towards him as she held on to his shoulder, a worried expression on her face. As Void looked down towards him, just from his body posture, you could tell that he was worried. It's getting worse. I'm fine. No, you're not, said Gorin. I won't lose you. I'll get back to work immediately. You do that, said Void. I'll make sure he doesn't get himself in any more problems. Naruto sighed. You know I'm the one in charge here, right? Just shut up, said Void. You need help. As Naruto looked towards Gorin, we're gonna need the people here. All of the Sound Forces. We can use their soul to do what we want. I've been reading about the scroll. That is a big part in the ritual. But they're not gonna take kindly to me, even though my name is rather big in their ranks. What should we tell them about him, she said, as she looked down at dust that once used to be Orochimaru. That's easy. As Naruto got to his feet, as he walked over, he held out his hand. Gorin sighed. Not again. But she placed her hand in his palm, as her body started to twist and change, until she turned into Orochimaru. She released another long sigh. Why this form? Couldn't Void do it? I still need him on the outside, said Naruto. And besides, you are the one with all the knowledge about this place in Orochimaru. So we need you in here. He's right. It's not like we're gonna be gone for long. Because we still need to get that ritual up and running soon enough, said Void. Yeah, I'll do my best, she said. But I really don't like to look like this. As she was standing there, a perfect copy of Orochimaru. As she shook her body in disgust. I'll do it. The seal I placed on Kabuto should be wearing off at any moment now. You guys should get the hell out of here. Make sure you don't show your face around here for some time. Especially you, Void. After all, we want Kabuto to think that I kill you, she said, reference to she being Orochimaru. Huh. That sounded quite pathetic, but well, I guess he will believe that. After all, you know everything he knows. She nodded as she looked towards Naruto. Lucky you did that mind transfer thing, she said. Yeah, said Naruto. But he was the one that was stupid enough to link a piece of his soul inside of Uncle Kurt's mark. Well, Void was the one that got me that piece of soul. I was able to redirect it back to Orochimaru to learn everything that he knows. And now you know everything that he does. Yes, quite disgusting, said Gurren. But I can handle it. Just take care of yourself, she said. I'll get everything done. Quickly. Well, it seems you gotten a promotion, said Void. Son Kage, as he gave her a bow. Quit it, she said. She punched him in the shoulder. As she extended her arm for a hug. Both Void and Naruto stepped back. What's wrong? The Gurren form was okay to hug, but you look like Orochimaru. But I'm still me, she said. Yeah, but we'll see you, said Void. As Naruto nodded, as the both of them vanished. She shook her head as she made her way. Footsteps could be heard as someone was rushing towards her with tremendous speed. Lord Orochimaru! Kabuto said as he woke up. He'd woken up some seconds ago and rushed forward. What happened? Orochimaru turned towards him as he smiled. Time skip. Tiwaya saw Naruto appear with Void as Void quickly headed off. Naruto walked up to her. Where's he going? She asked. Some other business to attend to. Look, the plan changed on last minute. We're keeping Orochimaru's death a secret. We thought that we would have done the ritual earlier, but it seems we'll have to wait. She didn't figure it out. It's more complicated than she thought. But what about you, said Tiwaya. As Naruto sighed, look. I'm fine. She looked at him. No, you're not. I can see it in your eyes. You're getting weaker and weaker. And you overexerting yourself is just shortening your life. You need to stop this. I need to overexert myself sometimes so that we can get the plan done, said Naruto. The plan doesn't mean crap if you're dead. As Naruto reached forward and placed a hand on her chin. I know you're worried about me, but I'll be fine. Have I let you down so far, he said. Have I promised anything I couldn't fulfill? Do you really think death will be the one to take me down? At his contact, she felt warm. Before she slapped away his hand, putting on her rough exterior. Alright, fine, shithead, she said. But if you die on me, I'll bring you back myself and kill you myself just to make you pay for dying on me. Whatever you say. So how's our guess? Confused and overwhelmed. As Naruto smiled, you wanted him that way. Yes, I wanted him to understand how much crap I'm going through to make sure that he is here and getting stronger. I also want him to stay in line and don't go overboard. And if he does, I'll kill him, said Naruto. Tiwaya looked at him as he simply walked ahead. She remained quiet as she followed behind him. This is exactly what she told Sasuke. It was like he had two personas. Kind and gentle sometimes, to those who he cared about and see as his allies, but to those that wrong him, quick, executing death without hesitating at all. Meanwhile, this was going on. Obito was completely shocked as he didn't understand what the hell was going on. He just received news. Black Zetsu was in front of him. That just got news. That Naruto Uzumaki is dead. Yes, he's gone. By Void. Void killed him at Konoha. Obito doesn't understand. He thought Void was supposed to be a friend. There was many witnesses that saw Void stab Naruto right to the chest. So he was confused about what the hell is going on. As he didn't know what to do at the moment. Naruto died without telling him where the ninth seal was. And the boy never had it sealed within him. So that means he placed it somewhere. Obito slammed his fist into the wall, breaking it to pieces. And he had no idea where the damn beast was. Suddenly, a white Zetsu came out of the ground. As Obito turned towards him, fury in his eye. "What are you doing here?" he asks. "Naruto sent me," said the white Zetsu. Obito looked at him confused. But guys, to be in subs right here. If you want the next part of the do like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on that bell notification as they posted. Remember to share to all of your friends in your social media platform. And also guys, stay in tune for what Naruto became the God of Lightning, which I do hope that you guys will enjoy. But for now, hope for see you guys soon. Peace.